Hello, everybody. You should be able to hear us now. Sorry. Welcome to Painting Happy Little Minis. My name's Leona, and and today we are going to be painting up some Warhammer 40K Space Marines. So I thought Terminators. Oh, we're not painting space.
The Space Marine.
They are Space Marine Terminators. Yeah. Good stuff. So as you can see, I am joining the stream tonight, which is super fun and exciting. And yeah, we're going to have just kind of a chill stream, paint up some 40K, chat about 40K. Well, Dave is going to chat about 40K, and I'm going to talk about how I don't know about 40K.
That's cool. It's absolutely fine. I saw a thing today about Pokemons.
Oh, okay.
and the people's not knowing the Pokemons, and it's like, I'm that person.
And you were like, and I was there in a conversation, and I didn't know what to say.
Nothing to say.
When Gretchen and I were geeking out, I think it was just last week. Oh yeah, and I actually was able to take some photos of both Garistro's Bistro and Gretchen's mini and your mini last week. So if people are interested in seeing them, I can pop them up on the screen at some point. Just let us know in the chat, because I'm not going to put in the effort if no one wants to see.
Right off the bat, I'm super excited by your professionalism. You are looking down the barrel of that.
Of course, yeah.
I'm still terrible at that.
It's okay.
I don't know where the camera is.
I want the audience to know I'm here. Here's in my heart.
I just show up.
Right, exactly. It's all good. So, thank you to everyone who's joining. Happy Thursday. Hello to JT, Dave Hummel, Gary, Chris, more Dave. Dave needs a mic. Dave needs a mic.
All those funny things I've been saying.
Oh, that's so sad. Here, I'll go turn up his mic.
I just need to point it in my direction. It's up here. Look at that. Is that working now? Is that working now? Hello, hey Betsy. I know that from this angle I can see the little things going on. How about now?
You should have I've spent hundreds on 40K and I still don't know anything. Good stuff. Hi Tim. No.
No, as in they still can't hear me?
Sad day.
I just have to sit here and paint, is that what you're saying? No talkie for Davy.
No talkie for Davy. Oh, no, why it's so low?
I don't know.
Maybe bumped up.
Sure. Oh. It's right there. How about now? Can you hear me now? I feel like the Verizon guy.
We can hear you, just not great.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I know what it is. Your mic's not plugged in. What? Live. Guys, are we live or are we live? I'm so sorry.
I have a funny story, but I will save it for when...
Oh my gosh. Guys.
Oh, Leona.
I'm so sorry, Dave. I really thought I had the studio set up.
How about now? Does that work? Is that working?
Yeah.
Yep. Hey, James. Yes. Tim says next week you should be able to post his first painted mini.
Oh, very
awesome.
Cool.
And Tabletop Center says, what?
Yeah. So basically they were only hearing you through my mic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I must be loud. But no, please forgive us. This week was the first week we've had other things being filmed.
Yes,
in this studio, in this space. So things are unplugged, moved around.
Yeah, that is
shuffled.
Actually true. Things were shuffled and didn't stay the same.
I don't make things up.
No.
I do make things up, but In this case, I was not lying.
We're not lying. That
I was
is
not fabricating.
actually accurate, and that's why it looked like I didn't know what I was doing.
Right.
But it was because I didn't realize that mic was unplugged, and then I look and I'm like, there's no plug on that mic. But I do
Yeah.
appreciate Dave Unplugged. Like, it's kind of like PAX Unplugged.
Right.
It's Dave Unplugged.
Yes.
It's good stuff.
There's no electricity around me. It's completely dead.
Good stuff.
It's like a...
Good stuff. And so
Power
now I can
outage.
change the camera angles to what we're actually painting.
Okay, let's
which
do
will
that.
be really great.
Awesome. Okay. Yes. Rick says we can hear you better. It works.
Good. Dave has
There's-
a new do. It's true. Also, hi, Roger Moore, and also hi, Tabletop Santa.
Yep. Hey. I want you, Dave, as a guest on my new painting show. I remember the last time I was a guest on somebody's painting show. 4 years later, I'm still painting on that painting show.
You are. You are.
Yes, we'll have to talk about that, Rick. That'd be good. Lucafio. Hola.
I don't know.
Yes.
You're gonna get Dungeon Dave
Dungeon
if
Dave.
he's on your show.
Quite possibly. But,
I'm just joking.
Sean
Hi,
says...
Lucafio. Oh, back from
hi,
Gen
back from Gen Con.
Sweet.
Fantastic.
Tell us about it.
It's one of those things, like, I spent, like, I guess 40 years of my life not going to Gen Con.
Yeah.
And then it was like 7 years of going to Gen Con. 6 or 7 years. And then everybody missed Gen Con last year. So when I started to see photos from this year, I was thinking, I've got a little bit of FOMO.
Yeah.
I hope it's all good. Hope everybody enjoys themselves. But it did look pretty cool. I was talking with...
It looked really fun. Like, I'm not
Yep.
gonna lie. I've actually never been to Gen Con. And I had FOMO this year, even though people were, had to do all the restrictions and stuff.
Yeah. But no, I think everybody who did go had a great time.
All right, so if I want to start with this blue, what
Yep.
blue should I start with?
Oh, what blue do you have there?
Well, this is a contrast paint, and this is Talasar blue.
You probably don't want to start with that
Okay.
because you're going over black. So I'd start with that one.
Magic blue?
Sure.
Is that
Let's
good?
start with magic blue.
Okay.
You don't have to paint the blue either, if you don't want to. You can paint them any way you like. Look at that.
Any
Look at the
color?
expression on her face. Any color you like.
Any color?
Any color you like. Yes.
What?
I'm just painting them blue because it's relaxing.
Okay, well, I want to be relaxed.
Okay.
But maybe I should paint them green, because green is my favorite color.
Paint them green. Yeah. Do you need a darker green? You've got a very bright green there.
I actually have.
Oh, you've got them down there? Cool. Yes. Definitely go for a green.
Okay, I'm going to go for a green.
I am going to switch the blue that I'm using. I'm not going to continue with this. I'm going to...
Gen Con has been on my bucket list for 40 years. Nice.
Octavio, you should go.
Pink.
Now that I have the
Pink.
the
I
mic,
do like pink.
now that the microphone is operational, I'm going to rummage.
Rummage. I too am painting Terminators. Thousand Sun Terminators.
Oh yes, still.
No.
Oh, got that wonderful, wonderful gold trim.
Verde Oscuro. Or dark green, as they say.
As they say in the English.
In the English.
Yes.
I'm trying to practice my Espanol.
Oh yeah. Are you learning?
No.
No.
I'm just
Oh, okay.
trying to practice it. No, I'm actually learning Japanese, but
Oh cool.
that's kind of taken a little bit of a hiatus this fall.
Okay.
Or actually, I should say summer, because I was learning in the spring.
Right. Excellent.
Yeah, so we were talking last week about Games Workshop released some stuff at Gen Con, right?
Probably.
GW?
Yes.
Yeah.
Not releasing stuff, but releasing information about new
Releasing information.
new products
right.
and that kind of thing. Yes, they announced some very cool stuff. Very cool. But sorry, I'll come back to that in a second. I just noticed Sean said, I enjoyed it, but my luck at the tournaments that I entered was dismal.
Aw.
Boo. That's no good. Bessie said green is awesome.
Yay!
Bling Marines.
Green.
Ooh, JT wants to know if you're using Duolingo. I'm using it to learn Norwegian.
Oh, very cool. Actually, I was not using Duolingo. I was just using like other online platforms.
Okay.
There are a lot of websites that will let you, because I was trying to learn the alphabet, so
Right.
as opposed to the words.
Okay.
So it wasn't app based; it was just like online
Right.
website practice based.
You saying Google Translate?
No.
No. Yeah.
It actually was different. I forget what they were called, but next week I'll have the words if you're really interested. But they were like Japanese specific. They weren't all language.
Okay. Right. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, I think that's one of the toughest things to do. Learn another language.
Teasing us to spend more monies, yes, at Gen Con.
Right. Yep.
It's true.
Gary says Gen Con has been on my bucket list for 50 plus years.
A...
It was definitely on mine for a long time. I was glad
Would
we
you
got to finally
go to do any tournaments while you were in Gen Con?
No, I have not.
Okay.
I don't think I've probably played a couple of demo games, but not a lot. But, yeah, usually when I've been going, it's with my business, Dave Taylor Miniatures, so I go
right.
to sort of do businessy things and
So
hang out with
I'm
folks.
having my paint, you probably can't see it on screen, but it's like separating a lot
Okay.
over top of the
Over the top of the prime?
black.
Okay.
Does that mean I need to just mix it more in the bottle?
Give it another good shake.
Okay.
I'm also finding that same sort of thing, so I'm wondering if it's
Is this a weird primer?
it's a primer issue. Ah,
It was just the chaos
Chaos Black.
black.
It might have been the. Did you prime it today?
I did.
Okay, it might have been the humidity today.
Oh. Okay.
So yeah, it's feeling a little hydrophobic. So it's not wanting to accept that wet paint. So I'm just slathering it on because we're just messing around.
Yeah.
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 It's not like I'm going to be entering this in a painting competition or anything.
I'm gonna
so.
enter mine into a competition.
Okay, that's cool.
But it'll be like the fantasy miniatures competition, but I'll enter Space Marine.
Enter a
into
Space
it.
Marine. Cool.
Just for like giggles.
Sure.
Just because I'm that person.
You're that person, right? Oh, Leona.
And everyone will be like, and then I'll do it at like all competitions. And it'll be like my signature.
Your signature move?
Yeah.
Here's the person who entered in the wrong category again. Again.
And like because my name is like somewhat unique, like they'll remember maybe, hopefully.
Oh, yeah.
And then they'll be like, this jerk. Not even a good paint job.
So, if somebody called Leona comes up, don't
Just don't even look at it.
don't even, just whatever. Just put it aside and say thank you.
So do you happen to know the science behind why the primer is kind of doing what it's doing, or
Nope.
does it just happen?
It just happens. Yeah. No, basically with primers, they have it's sort of any sort of primer really, spray primer. They have a very limited range of environmental conditions that they can work in.
Gotcha. Okay.
So if it's below like 50 degrees, or if it's above 85 degrees, or if it's
Okay.
too humid or not, if it's too dry. There's a sweet spot for it where everything works perfectly, but push it in one of those directions and you'll get a less than perfect result.
It's just surprising because I don't.
Yeah, normally it's really good,
Normally it's pretty good.
but that can happen sometimes.
So.
We're all good. But just change.
Because
Ooh.
I did it earlier today because I thought then they would have plenty of time to dry. But I guess I should have primed them.
I'm not sure if you
yesterday.
saw, but Lucafio was talking to you in Japanese.
Sushi o chumadekeru yo ni nihongo manasabu ka. I don't know what that means.
Sorry.
I am by learning, I mean it is in process.
In process. Yes.
And I would say also, something Nihongo, so something about Japanese speaking.
Yep.
Ka?
Jason says, sorry I'm late. Hi, Jason.
Hello, Jason. Welcome. We're doing some Warhammer 40K. Classic
Classic
Games Workshop.
stuff. Almost classic. Still not old. They're not old Hammer. It's not vintage enough to be
It's
old
not
Hammer.
old Hammer.
These
It's
are from like,
new Hammer,
I think these are 2005.
newer Hammer,
Yeah.
but not the newest.
Not the newest. No.
So.
Well, I mean, these are the
Because
latest.
We did have
like,
these. See, I don't know if you see on the table, but I had these
Seraphon?
Seraphon, and I was honestly thinking like, I'll show
Maybe
everybody.
we should paint some lizard men.
Well, I was like, would Dave really want to paint like Seraphon?
Oh. You're going to need to zoom out.
Yeah, I need to zoom out. Just give me a moment, everybody.
But just quickly, jumping in, Gary said he went to a con in Houston, Texas when he was 18. Gafier's been to Dragon Con and a few others have been on my bucket list for that long. Chris Layfield says also the same exact miniature I just painted over. Cool. That's crazy.
This
but,
is what we could have painted.
Yeah.
The lizard guys.
Nah, I'm good with painting Space Marines.
Yeah, I
They're a
just
bit
felt
more
like
relaxing.
this wasn't the vibe.
Right.
Age of Sigmar just didn't feel right today.
Right. It's a science fiction kind of day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Dystopian nightmare future. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yep. Excellent. Lucafio says, I'm con poor. When you've got time, Lucafio, you can go to all the cons. Dave almost says, I don't want to know how much money I've given freely to Games Workshop. But also saying, yes, hence why you can't prime anything right now in Arizona. It's too hot and dry.
Oh, okay.
So when it's hot and dry, the paint will dry before it hits the mini.
Crackle? Oh. Whoa.
So you'll get a powder coat kind of finish. Yeah. It's like you dipped it in flour kind of
Yeah, that is
Um,
wild.
thing. Which is kind of, it's definitely
I
tough.
mean, we've talked about my obsession with Arizona,
Yeah.
and it's amazing, but that's wild.
Yeah. Jason said, I've rarely found that sweet spot. I'm guessing it's the primer sweet spot.
Yeah.
Mine is in my basement, in the laundry room, regardless of what the weather is doing outside.
It'll always be good.
It'll be fine.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
But my wife's not particularly keen on the smell. She doesn't want to have to wear a mask in our house as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
So, excellent.
Yeah, man, this is really
there we go.
bad.
Look, Javier says, Leona, are you learning Japanese so you can order sushi?
Yes.
Yes, there we go. Hi, Ashlyn. Welcome.
Yes, welcome. Thanks for joining.
Dave Hummel's been to 3 LA Games Days and 1 Chicago Games Day. Very cool. I'm excited about... I mean, Games Day isn't returning, but I'm excited about Golden Demon Awards returning to Adepticon next year. Super cool.
Is that just like a special trophy that
Oh, the
is
Golden
from
Demon...
Games?
Pardon?
Is that like from Games Day?
Yeah, it used to be run. So Golden Demon is the painting competition.
Gotcha.
And originally, like in the 90s, early 90s, they were actually 2 separate events. There was a Games Day and a Golden Demon.
Oh, okay.
But then they brought them together, and for about 25 years, they kind of ran together.
So are you having to put 2 coats on there?
I went with a thicker coat, and then one thing that you can do if you're finding you're not getting good coverage from a particular coat
Yeah.
is mix in a little bit of another color. So I would say, I'm actually going to suggest the
The blue?
no, you've got a
I also have a whole
yeah,
thing. Of
you
colors
got
there.
some black there. So
Oh,
is it running- yeah, I just mix a little bit of
Okay.
black, just like a
Cool.
drop of black in, because all you're trying to do is just adjust the color.
Yeah, the opacity of it.
Yep. And that'll give you that smoother first coat. Yeah.
Because, yeah, I was having... It's still kind of really slimy. And I'm just kind of bummed because I was excited to paint this mini, and now it's...
No, you're not.
It's, like, kind of...
That's okay.
Grody.
This sort of thing happens to all of us, all the time. But, do you want to toss over the green that you're using?
Sure.
Let me
This
have a
one?
look at the... Yep.
Yeah, maybe it's because I didn't shake it properly. Shake, shake,
Yep.
shake,
No.
shake, shake, shake.
But, yes.
Orglord says, I've got one old hammer lizardman still on sprue in my kind of sprue box from a job I got off a mate. Wow.
Nice.
That's amazing. They are space slivers.
Yep.
That's why I got an airbrush. No issues priming
No issues priming anymore.
Oh.
Yep. As long as Betsy's down in Louisiana, so there's some great humidity down there.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so an airbrush is great, particularly if you have, if you're getting any moisture issues with your airbrush, make sure that you've got a water trap, a moisture trap. So a lot of compressors will have one attached, or the smaller airbrush compressors will have one attached. But you can also get what they call an inline water moisture trap.
Okay.
So as the air goes up the hose towards your airbrush, there's a moisture trap in the middle, and the air will continue, but it'll pull out all of the moisture.
That's smart.
Which is pretty neat. But that stops any spluttering you might get. But Chris says, just about to start sweet priming season in Florida. 6 months of great weather. Hooray, winter in Florida. JT says the same, Betsy. So JT has a airbrush for priming. Sean primes in his carport. Very good. Gary says, Gen Con would interfere with the start of school when I was young. School when I was young. So yeah, it was great that all the times I've been, it was in August.
Yeah.
It was, of course, just in September this year because of COVID and planning.
Yeah.
But I think next year, they've already announced next year's dates, and it's the first weekend in
August?
In August.
Okay.
So if you need to plan that, make sure you do. Sean says PAX Unplug is happening in Philadelphia in December. Yep. Should be good. Definitely cool.
Yeah, I'm actually going to try and go to that with my cousin.
All right.
Yeah, he's like super into board games.
Yeah.
And I was telling him about, like, for a class project, he actually made a board game. And it was like
nice.
about inventors and history.
Okay.
And then you like interacted with and they each would bring like sort of a thing that you could do anyway, it was very complicated. If you've ever played Power Grid, it was kind of like that, but instead of like, yeah, it was. So anyway, he loves board games and like wants to go into design board games. And I was telling them this summer, like, oh yeah, there's this game convention. I should take you. 'Cause like I like game conventions, but like I personally really like anime conventions a little bit more because that's like more my bread and butter.
That's your jam.
And so I'm excited to bring my cousin because I think he will like be in love with it.
Freak out. You're like, I want to do this thing and then that thing and I want to learn that game. How do you play this?
Awesome. Like it's really fun, I think, when you can go with people, or even when it's something yourself that like you're really, really pumped for. Like I do like games, but because I've only been to game conventions for work, there's a little. I think if I went as like just myself, it would be a different experience.
Right.
So.
Sure.
I wouldn't feel like, oh, game conventions equal tired. Like when I think PAX Unplugged, I'm like, that makes me think of being tired.
Right. From working all the time. Yeah.
From being on the floor for like 3 whole days.
Yeah. The first time I went to Gen Con, I went for work, and I wanted to make sure that, so it was my first year of my business, and I wanted to make sure that everything was going to go smoothly, and I took every opportunity to meet somebody and try and get some work.
Talk to them, yeah.
So, yeah, I had 4 days where from 10 till 6,
right,
when the vendor hall was open,
oh my goodness,
it was like every 20 minutes or a half hour I had a meeting.
Yeah.
So I lined that up, and so I talked to so many people. I didn't. Sorry, the last day I didn't schedule anything, but that was the day to go back and follow up.
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
remember we had that conversation?
Yeah.
What'd you think? Do you still want to do that?
Still interested? Not interested? Just let me know. I'm here.
Yep.
No,
exactly
totally, and that
thing.
makes sense. But yeah, I mean, that's like killer, and you got to do it because everyone's there. That's the crazy thing about conventions to me, like in the gaming / miniature world, is that like that's where to meet everybody because everybody shows up. So it was really hard, I think, for the industry / just some of the stuff that people try and get done.
Oh, yeah.
The fact that cons were closed. Like, cons for fans were hard, too, but cons for, like, industry people were, like, really hard, because that's where they, like, make the connections, and you get your stuff for next year, and you make projects happen, and... It's
the place, because a lot of sort of stuff starts on the back of a napkin.
Yeah, exactly, and that's...
like, at the bar.
That's where it is.
And when you're not at the bar...
It's a Gen Con.
Yeah.
When you're not at the bar, and then the napkin is your own napkin, and no one's there.
No one's looking at it. And...
You wipe your mouth on it and throw it away.
Exactly. And you try and get it in the trash can from across the room. Swish, 3 points.
And there are no ideas.
Yeah. But I will admit that, so that was 2014. 2017, I was so exhausted, like by Saturday afternoon.
Yeah.
Then I went back to the room that I was staying in, and said, the guy that I was sharing the room with was there, and I said, you know what? Right now, every single person who's possibly going to hire me in the future is in that room over there, in that vendor hall. I should be there.
Yeah.
But I am far too tired. Yeah. So I passed out for a couple of hours.
There is definitely an aspect of that.
There's a level.
Are you painting his hands, every part of his hand too? The blue color? Like his fingers?
I am, yeah.
Okay.
You don't have to, though.
Okay.
You've got ultimate flexibility.
Right.
Paint it however you like.
I'm just trying to...
And the other thing as well is you can always come back and paint over that if you want to.
True.
There are a lot of some of the older sort of Space Marine Terminator paint jobs on that Power Fist, that big Power Fist on the left hand, had hazard stripes.
Oh.
So if you wanted to go for something a little bit retro, you can throw that in. That'd be cool. What do we got? Chris saying, Lakefield saying HMGS, so the Historical Gaming and Miniature Society, South Hurricane. Oh, sorry, HMGS South Hurricane is this weekend.
Very cool.
But he has too many kids' activities. That's his kids. He's got too many kids. That's what it is. It's a problem.
You need to make one of the kids' activities go to the con.
Exactly.
Like, growing up, my dad was really into Civil War history, which is convenient when you live on the East Coast. But I didn't realize that not everybody's family, like, did vacation, quote unquote, vacations to Civil War battle sites.
Gettysburg or Antietam or Bull Run or...
And I'm like, oh, see, my dad just made the kid activity the thing.
Right.
But also we could be outside, so it did kind of work out.
It was fine.
But anyway, sorry. Yeah, no, that's super cool.
James says, that's why I like making things out of wood. You don't need to prime it. Just stain it. Yeah. Nice one.
Fair point.
Jason says, coverage can also be dependent on how much you shake your paint. Yeah. I think...
yeah, maybe I didn't shake it properly.
We might need to bring in that vortex mixer. Give it a whirl.
True.
But, yes. Compared to Chris with his 6 months of priming weather, Ashton's saying she's in Eastern Canada, and it gets a little bit too cold to paint soon. That's a shame. Or at least to prime. So if you do, so summer is your assembly and fall is your priming months.
Oh, sad day.
And then painting in winter. That's the way to go, I think. Chris says, Leona, you would love Gen Con, your huge anime section, plus all the gaming.
Oh, very cool. I didn't know that. I know it's a huge con, so it doesn't surprise me that they have because it's basically
So
like
much con.
multiple cons in one.
All together. Exactly. Jason says, Leona, did you go to Otakon in DC this year?
I did not this year. I have been, and normally I will go, but just because of COVID and everything, I didn't go this year. I'm kind of like no cons 2021.
That's your platform? That's what you're running on? No cons!
That's my campaign slogan.
Oh, yeah, we're not. I don't know how that's going to go down.
I know.
But
maybe
anyway.
for 20. I'm hopeful it's for 2022. Like things will calm down a little bit.
2022, all the cons.
I didn't want to be in stinky DC. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Gary says, oh my goodness. Seriously, Gary? You wrote an article for Dragon Magazine in September of 1978? That's amazing. Amazing. I think I bought my first Dragon Magazine in like 86.
Oh, wow.
Maybe a little bit. No, maybe 84. Probably 84. And that was actually where I saw like an ad for Gen Con.
Oh my goodness. Wow, yeah.
So it was like, oh wow, this seems amazing.
This seems like a
I'll never get to go to this Wonderland.
I think you mean Wonderland.
And then
you did.
Then I
That's
did.
actually pretty cool.
like 30 years later.
I know. And you went with your own company, which I still think is awesome.
That's pretty cool. It's not too bad.
Question. This big gun. Should I be painting it blue? I mean,
Green?
green.
No, maybe the
Okay.
so have a look and see where the arm is sticking through.
Right.
So the armor is probably going to be
Okay.
around the hand and that sort of thing. For mine, I've got there's like a little cowling around it that where the gun sort of slots through. It's like an extra piece of armor
Gotcha.
over the top of the Space Marines armor. So I've painted that blue.
Actually, I think mine... Oh, no, that actually is just the gun. Because my guy, it's his arm goes in it, and then there's a piece of the gun that goes around.
Yeah, like a little sleeve kind of thing.
Yeah. Is that what you're painting blue?
Yep.
Or no? Okay, then
Yep.
mine has the same thing, so I'll paint it. Because I gotta be just
the
like
green.
Dave.
You don't. Guess I keep telling you. Paint it how you like.
But we know if we follow Dave, it's a good, you'll turn out.
Well, there is a thing. There's a thing to that where if you're painting something for the first time and there's a shape you don't recognize, and it's like, I don't know what that is. What's its function on the miniature? When like, if this thing was in real life, what would it do? Because you might look at it and go, oh, this would be really cool painted in wood.
Oh, right.
But it's like an explosive.
Right, so it
I was
doesn't
like,
make
that
sense.
doesn't make any sense. So it can be tough for that kind of thing. I'm actually painting up some minis for a friend of mine at the moment for his wedding.
Oh, very cool.
He's getting married at the end of October. And one of his other friends have put together their D&D group in miniature.
Oh, okay.
So I'm painting them up. Oh, you okay?
I might sneeze. Excuse me.
But I'm painting them up in the like the colors of the wedding party.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So and the colors of the wedding party are purple and teal, because my friend does not do anything the regular way. But because I wasn't involved in the creation of the miniatures themselves, they've got. I know that like, they have all these things over them. Like they've got things on their belts and
right.
things on the base that connect to the character.
Yeah.
The D&D character, and so there's been some times where I was like, this looks like a bottle, but it might not be. It might be like made out of metal, or it might be a
special thing.
It's a special thing. So
A magic item.
Yeah, it was like I'm gonna send him a message. Hey, Chris, is this looks like a bottle? Is it like a particular type of bottle or what? And he goes, no, it's just whatever. Okay, fine, thanks. Then because they were 3D printed, there was one point where it was like, this model that's like Owen's character, it looks like it's got a couple of little slugs on it.
Okay.
Like, because some of the models have like one of them has a dog companion, and one of them has like 2 guinea pigs on it. It's like, well, maybe this dwarf character has an affinity for slugs, or he's cursed with slugs, or something like that. Because there was one on the arm and one on the base. And I said, what are these? Are they slugs? And he goes, oh, no, they're just like 3D printing goofs. So I can get rid of them? Yeah. So I was like,
clip them off.
Yep. So yeah, I totally understand what's this piece?
Yeah.
What color should I paint that? It can be a wild kind of experience. For sure.
Dave Hummel says, I was working for GW for 3 of those games days, so that helped.
Right.
Gotcha.
Yep. Oh, James.
I want to hit the con scenes in 2021. Or 20...
20,121.
21.
James has a time machine. Or he's going to do like freezing his head thing.
Yeah. Also, these are fighting words from Jason. Did you prefer Stinky Baltimore? How dare you? Because I said Stinky DC.
Yep. That's funny. I would totally prefer Stinky Baltimore. It's much easier to drive around.
It is. Nothing's in a crazy... No side lights.
Yep.
But also, like, yeah.
Also, I could walk to the convention center from my house.
Yeah. Oh, you can?
I can, yeah,
No way.
Yeah. It's like 4 miles. It's not far.
But see, for me, 4 miles in the city, that's like pretty far. Right?
Pardon?
No?
It's like an hour.
Okay.
It's like a regular walking pace.
regular
It's an hour.
Pace.
I've walked it a number of times. Not all of them sober. But, yes.
Well, the good thing you were walking.
Oh, Gary said it was 20 then and got $10 for it.
Oh my gosh.
That's amazing.
That's good stuff.
Yep. Being paid $10 for an article in Dragon Magazine. That's sweet. Mad props there, Gary. Very cool. Oh. Oh, Ashley said it's old school and like spending the 40k bolters red.
Is that what they
There was
on the box?
There was a time there, yep. In the mid to late 90s. It's a funny story. I could probably tell you, but I won't.
Okay.
I won't tell you I'll tell the owner later.
Okay.
But as to why the bolted casings were red.
Interesting.
So.
I'll get the scoop.
The scoop.
And I will let you guys know. No, just joking.
Well, it's different coming from you. It would be fine.
Oh, true. But I won't talk about my
shouldn't come
sources.
from me. Yes.
I won't talk about my sources.
Exactly. There's got to be some journalistic integrity here, right?
Yeah, exactly. Don't worry. Off the record. James
Off the
says
record.
no, it was a hand spasm. That's fair.
Oh, okay.
That's what I figured.
Yep.
Because,
Cool.
I mean, at least for me, I don't imagine myself being around in that year.
Well,
I'll be part of the stars or
I think
whatever.
it's one of those things. It's like halfway to 40,000. It's halfway to like 40k. So, part of me would be like, sure, we could stop in this year.
Yeah,
But
you need to jump.
Really, I just want to blast right through it and get to there and see if that's what happened. Or if it's a bit more like the time machine.
Oh, yeah. It's such a good book, by the way. I listened to it like sometime during COVID, and I forgot how much I love that book.
Right.
For kind of no reason. But classic sci-fi is, I think, some great literature.
Yeah.
Personally. Because it's interesting to think about how they were writing this without our interests today. Like,
yep.
You know, we have Warhammer, like we have D&D or whatever.
Well, we're sort of set up now where if you're into sci-fi, you know, you could probably write off the basics of like 4 or 5 different sci-fi universes.
Because, see, that's why I listened to Dune. That's why I ended up listening to Dune. Because I was like, I got to get some of this classic stuff in. Because people reference it. Like, in other sci-fi books will, like, reference Time Machine and...
Yeah.
some of Isaac Asimov's books.
I think one of the things that I like about the classics as well is that there were stories being told. Like, strip away all of the science fiction part. There was a story underneath it.
True.
Whereas now, I'm not saying it's for all sci-fi franchises, but there are elements where it's the stories aren't particularly good. Yeah. But it's in a particular in a world in a universe that is cool.
Yeah.
So.
And so they can kind of get away with the fact that it's just more about the world building.
Yeah.
And less about the, like, actual story.
Whereas previously, there needed to be a compelling story, a reason for you to continue reading about. Yeah. That sort of thing.
Sad thing.
I say that, but then again as well, there are also loads of, like, penny dreadfuls.
Right.
With
Yeah.
crappy sci-fi stories and that sort of thing.
No, but those ones, the original, the OG, like, they were great.
Yeah.
That's why we still read them.
And Frankenstein. Go back to like the science fiction.
I know.
Primogenitor kind of thing.
And it's crazy because I know a lot of people who don't like Frankenstein, like the story.
Okay.
Or how it's written and stuff. And when I read that, I actually had to read that in high school, and I thought it was the best. I was like, this is an awesome story. I love what she's doing. Like, not just because it's like super romanticism, like all about, like there's lots of themes of like nature and, you know, light and dark. But I just thought it was a very cleverly written, like, story. And I remember people being like, oh, Frankenstein's so stupid. And I'm like, what? Frankenstein's is amazing story.
There's a not to condense the awesomeness of Mary Shelley to a meme. I saw a meme the other day that was fantastic, which was knowledge is knowing that Frankenstein wasn't the monster.
Yeah.
Wisdom is knowing that Frankenstein was the monster.
Hey, I love that.
Yeah.
It's
definitely good.
I'm there for that.
Cool.
That's so funny.
Excellent.
And I also, if I had seen that meme, I would have been like.
Yep. It's great. Hey, Jason. Jason Sutton has joined us.
Hi, Jason. Thanks for joining us. We're just having a chill evening of painting up some Warhammer.
Yep.
40K.
James has thrown in that Shogun, the audiobook, is 50 hours long.
Wow.
That's, we'll get to that later in the show. The 50-hour thing.
Okay.
What I could have been doing for 50 hours on a plane. But anyway.
Oh, sad day.
Monday was Gary's birthday. Happy birthday, Gary, for Monday.
Happy birthday.
Well done.
You made it.
Very cool. JT says, I just finished listening to Dune again. Super excited for the movie. I am also super excited for the movie. It's kind of weird. I'm not sure why, because I loved the 1984 David Lynch film.
Okay.
And I've not liked any of the adaptation
things
approaches
of them?
since.
Okay.
But this one,
You're really excited.
I think it's like everything I see, and it's just all been wonderful. So I'm very excited. Super excited. Super excited.
I think it is going to be a very good movie.
Yeah.
I have some like actor what's the word? Prejudice. Where sometimes if I don't like
Bias?
an actor, bias, yeah,
Yep.
maybe is the better word. Where if I don't like an actor, I'm like, ugh, this movie's not going to be good because
Right.
it's because I don't like the actor. But it's not because so that's all to say, like, I think this movies will be good. And I will not like certain actors because I just don't like them on
Who
screen.
don't you like?
I don't particularly like Timothée Chalamet.
Okay. Well, that's going to be tough for you then.
I know, because
He plays the main character. Not sure if you heard, but that's the one.
he's the main character. And maybe he'll be better in this film. And, like,
Yeah.
maybe, well, like, and also, like, it's Paul Atreides, right? Not Peter.
Yeah, Paul. Yeah. It's certainly not Mary.
Atreides.
Sorry, Peter, Paul, and Mary.
Yeah. Paul Atreides isn't my favorite character of the series to begin with, so I think it like adds to me being like,
Okay. Right.
good. So maybe it's good that he's kind of Timothy because then I'll be like, oh, Paul,
Oh, that guy.
the lamest one.
Hurry up. Move along.
Because I think
Let's get a bit more of that gurney. Come on, gurney. Yeah.
or just like the other. I'm really interested to see how they do the Bene Gesserit.
Okay. Yeah.
I am because the trailer didn't really show.
You're right. It wasn't.
They were just like, put the hand in the box. And I'm like, okay, yeah. Of course they're going to show that in the trailer. But there really wasn't a lot about, like, his mom. And I think his mother is one of my favorite characters of the books.
Yeah.
And I just think the Bene Gesserit are awesome. So I'm interested to see how they do that. But I think the animation or CGI in this movie is going to be incredible. And really make it feel like a world. Like this sort of...
Oh, yeah, definitely.
dystopian planet world that exists. I did have the one little question. Sorry, I'm a big nerd, and like in the books, they talk a lot about these face masks,
Right.
things, and in the one of the trailers, they're just using this nose plug thing, and I get it because they want to see the actor's face.
Yeah.
But I was a little disappointed that they didn't try a little harder to like make it so that
I always got the feeling that there were essentially two options.
Okay.
I always got the feeling, and maybe it was the influence of the Lynch film.
Gotcha.
Because the Lynch film just has the nose plug.
The nose plugs, yeah.
But and basically, yeah. So just plug up your nose and breathe through your nose. Don't breathe through your mouth, kind of thing. But I suspect that there's they might pass it off as like a regular everyday wear and deep desert kind of thing.
Yeah.
So.
Which that's 100% understandable. I think it's definitely I read the books, and so I have a certain vision of what it'll look like. I'm interested to see the other. I forget what the people are called who live on the planet.
The Fremen.
Yeah, the Fremen.
Yep.
There are a couple people that I'm interested to see because they didn't show them on the screen yet. I'm excited. No, in general, I'm like, this movie is going to be great, and I think it'll be cool. Is it 2 parts? For a little while, they were like, when it first came out, they were talking about it being a 2-parter.
I think.
Did they end up just cutting it into one?
I don't think they're doing that. I think it's the first film.
Okay.
But they haven't as far as I'm aware, they haven't greenlit the second film yet.
Sad day.
So.
Where are they going to end it? That's what I'm wondering.
It might be a bit like Highlander. It's just the one film. Nothing after it. Absolutely nothing after it.
Like, I think that would be very sad.
Yeah. I was going to jump in quickly here. Ashlyn was talking about listening to the War of the Worlds radio show. Oh, she listens to it every year near Halloween.
Oh,
very cool.
That's so cool.
Perfect timing as well.
I should check that out. I love radio shows as opposed to sometimes audiobooks. I'm gonna check that one out.
Jason said Asimov influenced a lot of sci-fi. This is true. And Jason also points out that there is a lot of really bad sci-fi. Enter Jason X.
I'm
Yeah,
not
that
familiar with Jason X.
That's like Jason from Friday the 13th, the Jason character in space. It's terrible. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. And Jason X was hilarious, though. Yeah. Dreadnoughts said Frankenstein is a rare case where I enjoyed the movie more than the book. Is that the Kenneth Branagh movie? The one where Kenneth Branagh plays Frankenstein?
I don't know if I've seen that.
Might be that one. That's pretty good.
I do love Kenneth Branagh.
Right. Yep. Excellent. JT says Stilgar and the Fremen are my fave. Yeah, I can't remember the name of the actor from the Lynch film, but Javier Bardem playing Stilgar. It's going to be like, whoa, it's going to be crazy. Because he is. He's got such an incredible range.
Yeah. Stilgar is, remind me?
Stilgar's the leader of the Fremen.
Oh, is just the leader.
They're basically
the
the siege that he finds.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Stilgar is a great character. Very complicated character.
Yep.
And I'm interested to see, because I felt like the books are a lot about like inner dialogue. Or
Right.
like thought process. So it'll be interesting to see how they kind of translate that on screen.
It will be interesting.
What is the dialogue that they choose? Because I think there's totally a way to just kind of put that in words.
I think I'm Villeneuve, I think that's how you pronounce it. The director, he also directed Blade Runner 2049.
Yes, I did see that.
And if you go from like Ridley Scott's the theatrical release with there was the gumshoe detective noir voiceover.
Right.
Excuse me. But Villeneuve's
like style
2049, there was no voiceover, there was no exposition. It was all everything came from the actors and their facial expressions or the things they did. So I think he's going to pull it off really well.
Do that, yeah. I was excited to see that the director had done other sci-fi films.
Right.
Instead of just like a horror film.
Or like Home Alone or something like that.
Paul Atreides. Oh.
That would just make you love Timothée Chalamet.
Oh, so he's not a bad actor. It's just what I've seen him in, I've been kind of like...
Yep. Right.
I'm like this kid.
Oh, man. Not good.
They show the face mask from time to time in the newest trailer. Yeah. 2 parts.
Yep.
Interesting. Nope, the really old one. I don't know what Brontonaut. Oh, that's what Brontonaut was talking about. The really old Frankenstein.
Oh, okay, radio.
Black and white?
Black and white. Lon Chaney was probably involved.
I don't know if I've seen that one.
Not sure.
Actually, I know I haven't seen that one.
Okay. Nope. And Gary said they would like to see the Children of Dune. I think that would be interesting as well.
My friend really liked the Children of Dune.
It's been a long time since I've read that.
Was that a BBC series that they made?
Oh, I'm not sure. Did they?
I'm pretty. Oh
man.
I do have a water thing.
I know.
Need it.
I'm having a terrible time with it.
I'm sorry.
That's not your fault. Oh my goodness. Sure. I'm so sorry. And we got the microphone turned on and all.
Time to turn off the mic. Except we can't because sci-fi original, I believe. Okay.
Okay.
Interessante. Yeah, I never actually read The Children of Dune. I did after Dune. I stopped. I was like, all right, the world concluded itself enough that I'm not going to keep going.
No need to go back.
I don't think, because I actually listened to that book, and and I'm not sure I would have been able to finish it if I had been reading it.
Right.
Because there were certain parts where I was like...
Falling asleep?
Like, here we go. And when they go to house... the guy with the really big fat guy.
Oh, Harkonnen.
Harkonnen. I mean, yeah. It's like nails on a chalkboard for me. Where you're like, I hate this guy so much. But it's interesting. It's all
Right,
good.
okay.
Like, I understand why he exists in the plot, but it was more towards the end of the... Like, halfway through the book, I was like, can we just make something happen? We've been going back and forth so much.
Yep. That's cool. No, I love Peter de Vries, the Mentat for the Harkonnens.
Okay.
And he's played by, in the Lynch film, he was played by Brad Dourif, who is just perfect for like a psychopathic like genius kind of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, Lynch used all of his favorite actors in that. So, having Jack Nance was in there as well.
Okay.
Who just I'm not sure what he's done outside of Lynch's work. I only know his stuff in Lynch's work, but he was just a Harkonnen flunky. He was the guy who was controlling the Baron's suspensor belt as he was flying around, kind of thing.
Oh, interesting.
That's just a lot of great
Faces.
great work in there. A lot of great faces. So it's gonna be interesting to see them again. So like
Yeah.
Gurney Halleck, originally played by I was gonna say Jean-Luc Picard, but Patrick Stewart. So Patrick Stewart. And now being played by Josh Brolin.
Yeah.
It's like they're two very different actors.
Types of, yeah.
I can't remember the actor's name who played Duncan Idaho, but I mean, being played by Jason Momoa is going to be very different as well.
Hopefully he's going to bring something different to the table.
But I think the actor / character I am most excited to see on the big screen is going to be the Beast Raban, played by Dave Bautista.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, whoa.
Yeah. He's just been really good in everything that he's been in. I think my opinion is.
No, I agree with that. Like, I think a sort of surprising aspect of his acting is that I've enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah.
Regardless of the character, like I'm like, man, this guy really brings a lot to the table.
It does.
This is really impressive.
And so people might say that like Drax is a very simple character. He is, but
He did him really well.
Yep.
One of my favorite characters of that series. Oh, look at that. It is 8 o'clock.
oh my goodness,
Time to look at miniatures.
almost. But
Almost.
Dave Bautista is also in Blade Runner 2049.
Oh.
He plays a snail farmer. He's a replicant. Spoiler alert. If you haven't seen it.
Dang.
But he's in that. He was also in. He was in like an indie film called. What was it? It's the name of a Brooklyn neighborhood.
It wasn't Queens, was it?
No, I can't remember it.
Oh, a Brooklyn neighborhood.
Brooklyn
okay,
neighborhood.
Well, then I don't know Brooklyn neighborhoods. I was just naming a borough.
Yeah. Also, not Staten Island or Manhattan
Okay.
or the Bronx, but which is kind of it's also a sci-fi movie, but he was really good in that. Again, different characters though, so and it wasn't it didn't feel like
It was the same.
it wasn't playing Dave Bautista.
Yeah.
He might have there might have been action roles and combat roles,
Right.
but it wasn't like watching Vince Vaughn, for example, where it's like, doesn't matter what he's doing, it's Vince Vaughn.
Yeah. It is funny how some actors do that.
Yeah, he's my go-to example for that. But Drontonaut says, Karloff and the Black and White are the best Frankenstein. Well, maybe I should admit I like young Frankenstein the best.
Yeah.
A little bit of Gene Wilder. Nice work.
I love Gene Wilder.
JT said the first 3 books were good, but the last 3 were way out there. Not so great.
Okay, good to know.
Chris
keep that in
Layfield says
mind.
the hardest part is the first 250 pages. So dry.
Yeah.
Is that a reference to the desert planet?
Hey. I just thought you meant like, yeah, actually that would make sense because that is where they are.
But no,
yeah.
the first 250 pages, then it's not a lot of action on June. There's a lot of it's on the House Atreides home planet
It is.
of Caliban.
True. And see, I think that's why I think the mother is like the more interesting character because that's where she is and she's like doing more stuff or like more stuff is happening in her character story.
She's also the I think she makes a lot of decisions.
Yeah.
There are a lot of like everybody else is kind of on a railroad.
Yeah.
But she's the one who gets to make the decisions about which way the railroad goes now.
It's true.
She might not be able to see exactly where it's going to end up, but
right.
she's the one that's throwing the switch.
And I think like the more you read in the series, you start to realize that's like her Bene Gesserit training, like allowing her to kind of like manipulate things, and you're kind of like, oh, I thought she was just kind of like this lady.
The concubine.
Yeah.
The straight concubine idea.
But like actually she's like doing things
Yep.
and influencing people. How to Make Friends and Influence People by written by the Bene Gesserit.
With Jessica Atreides. Excellent.
All right.
So yes, are we going to look at minis?
We are going to look at some miniatures now.
Cool.
It's the part of the show where we talk about stuff that you guys have posted online. And we are excited to look at.
Yep. Let me just wash that out.
So up first we have Ashlyn.
Oh, cool.
Who created a team van, and also I can put that.
Yep. Oh, check that out. We can see it there.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yes. It's awesome. Adeptus Sororitas Rhino.
I love how bright blue, cobalt blue
Yep.
it is, which I know is all within the coloring.
Yep.
Of the Adeptus Sororitas, or at least in her team.
Yeah. No, I think it looks great, and I think the way that you've translated, Ashlyn, the way you've translated the colors from your Sisters of Battle with the blue armor, the white cloth, and the gold icons. The way you translated that onto the Rhino looks great.
It does.
Very nice.
It looks really good. They are ready.
Yep. You can see.
I'm just loving how this team is coming together. It's really fun.
You can see some of the weapon casings on there as well. So that you see where the ramp is down at the back.
Oh, okay.
The weapons there have red casings.
Yeah.
So that was what Ashlyn was saying before.
Gotcha.
But yep, looks fantastic. Great work.
Looks really great.
Yep.
Up next, we have Betsy.
Betsy's. So this is the red faction from Scythe.
Nice.
Oh, very cool.
November 2020. Wow.
Oh, wow.
That's awesome. So was this like one of your first minis that you painted? I remember Betsy telling us that she started painting right around the beginning of, or midway through COVID season.
COVID season. Such a long season.
Yeah, it was a long season.
Yep.
No, I'm loving this. They're great.
It is awesome. Yeah, and that red that sort of red burgundy is really, really beautiful. I hope James is enjoying the ship.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
looking great.
I still need to play Scythe. I bought the game for my cousins, but we haven't sat down. Well, like they've played it,
right?
But I have not played it with them. So
you have to do that soon.
I really do need to sit down and play. And I've wondered if they've painted their minis. I don't think they have. So
okay.
Maybe I'll show them.
Show them these pictures
I need to
for
show
sure.
them your pictures, and then we can be inspired and.
Definitely cool. But yeah, I love the character in the middle as well. with the tiger.
This tiger.
Tiger. But yeah, looks great.
Looking
Excellent work,
really
Betsy.
good. Next, we have Chris Gorka with a squad of snowtroopers.
Fantastic. Yes, I think Chris said on this that he's painted these up in the Shore Trooper color.
Gotcha.
So you know how the Shore Troopers have got like the scout armor, but it's more of a an older, more of a yellowish
Like a beige.
tinge to it. Yeah, like a beige. To me, a lot of it looks like old yellowed plastic kind of thing. So,
I see what you're saying.
or at least the tone of the like old phones
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
But no, these are looking great.
That
I
like
think.
terrible manila color.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I think Chris has done a great job here. That matches great with the basing, and I'm also liking that his black here on the rest of the fatigues isn't too black. It's got that nice dark gray kind of feel. So
Yeah.
it's almost like you brought those two. Normally you'd have them like stark black and stark white at each end of the spectrum. It's just sort of pulling them in a little bit. Yeah. Looking great. Nice work, Chris.
Yeah, they look great. Spectacular
Awesome.
work. I would be interested to see them on the table with like in the
On a gaming table? Yeah. Like on a
terrain.
scarif kind of. Yeah, that'll look great.
Yeah,
Very
really
nice.
cool. Up next, we have David Hummel.
Excellent.
It's an older code.
Nice. It's a librarian,
Gotcha.
Space Marine librarian for Dave's. It's Blood Angels you're doing, isn't it, Dave? Pretty sure. But yeah, so but one of the levels of librarian is Codicia.
Ah.
So this is a great pun there. Throwing back to
Codicea. Gotcha.
it's an older code, but it checks out. So a little bit of Star Wars in there. Loving it. But yeah, this is looking really nice. And on that all that lovely little script on the book, take a look at that. That is so cool.
Yeah.
Sometimes if you've been practicing, that can work out really well. And I know Dave's been doing a lot of practicing on his vehicles.
Gotcha.
You remember those
Yes,
the vehicles
I do
with the
remember
script down the side?
vehicles. Yeah.
Yep.
They look great.
So, but then yeah, translating that into the pages of a book is just
That's very fun.
yeah.
It's a
Excellent.
nice little touch.
Nice work, Dave. Excellent.
Next, we have Gavin Williams.
Gavin Williams. Okay, so initially I thought that this was a squad of Terminators as I
Right.
saw the preview come up. But no, this is a squad of Dreadnoughts. So Dreadnoughts are the bigger war machine that are about that tall compared to the Space Marine, the Terminator that is that tall. I
Wow,
can't really see it.
what's it called? The perspective on this is just really
Yeah.
interesting because you're telling me they're like 3 inches, and I'm expecting them to be like
Yep. I think
1.5.
they're on. Oh, unless no, wait. Gavin was doing some. These ones aren't. They're much smaller. He was doing some 6mm, some epic stuff. So these ones are actually really tiny. So these are probably maybe 3/4 of an inch
Okay.
tall.
They're really.
So that's why the bases look.
That's why the bases
Uh,
look like a normal
Yeah.
diameter.
Yep. So those bases are probably the 25mm
Gotcha.
size bases.
Okay.
But yeah, Gavin, they're looking cool. I remembered. I'm glad I remembered that because
Yeah.
otherwise I was just freaking out. These bases are way thick.
I know, because that's what I couldn't figure out. I'm like, but then that would mean that there's like an inch of
Yeah.
glass.
But it just knowing now that they're like that tall, they're
The work is really nice on it.
it's absolutely
Really
spectacular. Yeah,
clean.
that the gold on those eagles around
Yeah,
the
I'm
throat.
really I like that
Yeah,
because it brings you right back to the.
yep, to that face there.
It's also kind of fun because the gold doesn't vary too far from the color of the orangey tan,
Yep.
and so it kind of keeps it all in that color range.
Yeah.
So it's very readable.
Definitely good.
As your army, like there's no extra.
Right. Yeah. Yep. No, definitely, it does look good. Great work there, Gavin.
Looking good.
Jason. Jason was working on the Reaper Bones Angel, and we were talking about the the cloud, and talking about like should you spray on Mod Podge or what should you do there?
Gotcha.
So I think this is the finished piece, or
Nice.
I'm not sure if you've sealed it yet, Jason.
It looks awesome.
It does look cool. Yep. Nice little cloud there.
Yeah, I like the little wisps of the cloud. Like, because the colors on the mini are not as saturated,
Yep.
I think it kind of lends itself to that, like, style of
Right. Yep.
ceramics, or even just, like, things you might see in the world. It doesn't have to be super clean because, like, the colors aren't, like,
All right. Yep.
popping the same way.
Sure. I think I'm enjoying the OSL, the object source lighting as well on the bottom of the wing there,
yeah.
just on the underside there.
Yeah, that looks awesome.
But yeah, very cool piece, Jason.
It's looking great.
Nice one.
Excited. I wonder if that will be part of a campaign.
Okay, Jason Sutton has painted up the Elven Knight from the Lost Adventures Kickstarter. This is very cool. This is a bit of a darker kind of take on elves.
Yeah.
And it's still got the blonde hair and the
Right.
sort of the green armor and that kind of thing, which is going to be that woodland kind of look. But the those white eyes on the horse, that really aggressive pose, and the darker green and the very pale, almost sort of vampiric skin
Yeah.
is it's giving it a really nice grim kind of feel to it. It's looking great. I love the shading on the face as well, and there's the darker sort of greenish, bluish,
Gotcha. Right.
underneath.
The cheekbone.
and but around the eyes there's a bit of a reddish pinkish tinge to it. So yeah, loving the look of that.
Yeah,
Nice
I
work,
like
Jason.
that the greens, like there's a variation of green,
Yeah,
even on
Yep.
the horse and then
and the rider's armor.
the rider.
Yep,
Yeah, bringing it to life. It's looking good.
definitely cool. Nice one.
Good job. We have JT.
JT, another Scarab Occult Terminator. We're talking about all that gold. All of that gold.
Lots of gold.
You have to tell us how you're doing that, JT. If you're doing that with several layers, or if you're just doing a single layer and a wash over it, or
okay.
because to go back and paint that trim several times is
Yeah, that's what I'm.
Can take a
Yeah,
lot of
actually,
time.
that is a good question.
yeah.
And are you using the like Dave trick where you paint brown and then you paint, or you paint like a
That's
base
on- yeah.
color and then
Then the gold over it.
top?
One way that I've done these models in the past, Chaos Space Marine models that have a lot of gold trim on them, is I'll prime them black and then I'll dry brush the gold on to it. So I dry brush like
Oh.
the hammered copper first, and then
Yeah.
the gold over the top, and then do a highlight of the gold,
Right.
then do a wash, and then do a final dry brush highlight with like a silver, or very
And then
very
go
pale
back
silver.
in and paint.
And then on the insides, you just paint the base color and then little highlights. Kind of thing. Sometimes it's a lot faster.
Right.
I've certainly done it with Black Legion, which have black armor and gold trim.
right.
So then you can just go back and paint the black armor and just little edge highlights.
Right.
Super. Really speeds up the painting
like,
time.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah. Because just going through and painting all of that trim can be killer.
Can be kind of sad.
Yeah.
And you're kind of like,
But
No,
yeah.
but this guy is looking great. I love the bright yellow,
Yep.
almost greeny color. Actually, no, and then there's green in
There's
the
green as
eyes
well.
and the,
Yeah.
Like,
So it's working with that.
Gem.
That basically all the colors are all chosen from that like one section of the color wheel.
oh,
Because you
okay,
got blue,
yeah. The
green,
bright,
yellow,
bright,
gold, are all right in there together. And when you balance that with the white and the dark, like the black of the casing and the weapons and the darker sword, definitely looking cool. Great work,
Yeah.
JT.
Looks awesome. Sorry?
Excellent. Next up, we have Kelly. So
With
Kelly
a
is
work in progress, Lilith by Bite the Bullet Studio.
it's looking very cool. Yep, I'm loving that. It's funny. I've been working on
The swish fabric.
laying out
Swish
the
of fabric.
been laying out the last of the Art of books,
Oh, okay.
which is actually the first of them, the volume 1.
Right.
And the last pages I've been working on are from Elizabeth Beckley. Mm-hmm. And Elizabeth does a lot of female figures with like flowing robes and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So seeing the way that Kelly's worked on the musculature there.
Yeah.
The belly is just fantastic. It's just really reminiscent of Elizabeth's work.
Oh, awesome.
But also, yeah, the fabric on those robes is great.
Yeah, I'm loving the way that the light is hitting them. Like the paint, it's because you painted it.
Yeah.
I know now it's not just the camera.
Yeah, and the texture as well.
Yeah.
It's painted in there, and the
I'm
trim on the edge
excited to
there.
see her finished.
Yeah.
She'll be looking good.
She
Nice ginger colored hair.
Yep.
I know it maybe will go back in maybe with like a darker color or not.
Like a darker shade
but
or.
I like that it's a very natural
Yeah.
orangey red.
Yep. Very much so. That looks great, Kelly. Beautiful work. Next up.
With some droids?
Some droids, yeah. Are these from? I'm guessing these are from. I think they are the droids we're looking for. I think I haven't. Have I told that? I think I might have told that story.
I don't know.
You don't need to see her identification.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
I told that one.
yeah.
Okay. You can go back and look for that story. But yeah, no, these are looking very cool. So yeah, these are from Legion. These ones, the bases as well. They've got the taller. Legion has the slightly taller bases.
They do.
But yeah, these are looking good. And I think that shield as well is quite cool. But
do you know if they have to paint the glass on that shield?
I don't know.
Okay.
It might have been supplied in that sort of
color?
amber color, the yellow color. But
Pencil for size.
right, yes. But even if it was colored plastic, the lines that are running down to the center,
Right.
to the boss at the center,
painted.
would be painted on.
Looks great.
Yeah, really nice
Liking
and
these
neat
little
details.
guys.
They look cool. Excellent, nice work, Kelsey.
Good luck in your Armada game. Or it's Legion. It's Legion.
Yeah.
Sorry. Too sad. Next, we have Lyle with...
Finishing up Magnus the Red.
Magnus the Red.
So, this model is big.
Yeah.
Paint pot for scale.
Mm.
So, yeah. So Magnus is like this tall, and his wings are huge. And,
Wow.
Yeah,
That
we've got
work on the...
fantastic. That fantastic red skin. In the background, he's described as Cyclopean, but it's. I think in the way that GW have done the models for it, it isn't that he just has one eye in the middle of his forehead. It's like he has one eye remaining, kind of thing. So in these models, he has a socket and an eye.
Okay.
But yeah, it's looking really good. I'm loving the way the blue is coming out on those. Has little sigils on the feathers on the wings.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, I could notice some of that work, and I was like, whoa, there's like details on these feathers.
Yeah. They sculpted details on there, and I think Lyle's done a great job of painting those up. They're looking very cool.
Yeah, they look awesome.
The
I'd be interested to see if he's gonna maybe shade the skin a little more.
Oh, on the chest there. Well,
the abdomen.
The model also comes with a like a breastplate.
Oh.
And
okay.
so you can do it without the breastplate. You can do it with the breastplate, and you can do it with the breastplate with the nipple horns.
Okay.
So it has like a normal breastplate, but then it has these enormous horns that come out of it. That very similar in sort of scale to the horns that are coming out of his head
funny. There. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's super
and he's
super over the top 40K.
40K?
40K, or you can use it. No, he's 40K.
Okay.
Yeah, he's all 40K.
I mean, come on, guys. 40K is laughable.
It's not laughable. It's over the top.
It's so over the top.
So over the top.
It's like, yeah, it's like Baroque. Like,
It's doubling down on everything. everything.
Super extra.
But
Makes me
Lyle's done
laugh.
an awesome job on this
Like,
one.
look at, I'm super
super cool.
scary. I'm really scary. And you're like, are you really scary? Or is it just like, nah.
No, it's really scary.
He's really scary.
He's really scary.
But it's looking awesome. We'll be interested to see,
Oh, yeah.
Lyle, what you do with the breastplate or just the bare chest or
All the nipple
the
horns.
extra nipple horns.
Nipple horns. Yep.
Exciting.
Sadly, they don't have a fitting to go directly onto the nipples. You have to put the breastplate on it first. But yeah,
Nice.
all good.
Looking great, though.
Yep.
Next up, we have Mike
Mike, awesome.
with this really cool fantasy
It's fantastic.
mini.
Ooh, where's this from?
He did not say.
Is this a Reaper mini? I don't know. But yeah, she looks really cool. And I'm loving
I'm not
the...
sure it's a Reaper mini because of
It
the
might
way
not
that
be.
she's holding that flag thing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't usually see Reaper minis
Yeah.
having that large.
Yeah, it is a...
things.
I think this is a larger scale mini.
Yeah.
But maybe 54 mil or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm loving the purple and the blue
Yeah.
and the fades that
And
you've
the
got going on there.
mixing
Yeah,
that he's doing.
the blending.
Blending. Excuse me.
Blending that's going on there. But yeah, Mike's done an awesome job on that. They're looking very cool.
Yeah, I love the motion. It just makes it feel, this whole mini feel
Yeah.
very, like, alive. And also the way he's cropped it is definitely playing a part in that, too. And
Yep.
I think it's very well done
Yeah.
in that crop. But it's awesome. Like, it's great when a mini picture makes me, like, want to see the mini in real
Right.
life.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, that's a mini where I'm like, I want, what let me see this mini in
Definitely
person.
cool. Yeah. No, it looks great. Awesome work, Mike.
We have Rich
Excellent.
with a Terminator?
No, not
No.
a Terminator. This is a Space Marine.
Space Marine? But
Um,
not a Terminator?
No. It's it's a regular Space Marine.
He's a regular Space Marine.
Regular Space Marine. So you're saying you can paint any colors you like.
Okay.
So Rich here is I think created his own chapter.
Gotcha.
So the blue arms,
Okay.
the black torso and upper and thighs and feet,
And then
those yellow greaves, and the white helmet
gotcha.
would all be part of the story for his chapter.
Oh, okay.
So like when if I get to the helmet, we don't have to. We're just playing around. But if I was to get to the helmet on this Ultramarine
Right.
Terminator, his helmet would be white because he's a veteran.
Oh.
Only veterans are allowed to wear Terminator armor, and all veteran helmets are white. Or if he was a sergeant helmets are red.
Okay.
So if he's a veteran sergeant, it would be some combination of red and white. Maybe red with a white stripe, or white with a red stripe, or halved, or something like that.
Right.
So it's going to be a similar sort of story with Rich's color choices as well. But yeah, looking good. I'm loving the
Because
the
he
pose.
has that red eye. Is that what you're saying?
Oh no, I think he's just gone with that red eye because the red works well against the white.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's like Ultramarines, you'd paint them with red eyes because it works well on the blue and the white helmets. But when you come to paint the sergeants with the red helmets, you'd probably go for a green eye.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, but yeah, lots of flexibility.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very cool to kind of see somebody.
Yep, taking a different approach. And I love love this sculpt that has the bolt gun is kind of on a sling behind it because he's got that one up at that hand up at his eye and the other hand pointing.
Calm.
But yeah, nice work, Rich.
Who's he
Looking
chatting?
good.
Hi. Yes, I want 2 shots of espresso in my latte. Thank you.
Awesome. I didn't know what we were going to choose,
I
so I was going to go number 1 meal, large with Coke.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, the Big Mac meal.
The big
Thank
bag.
you.
We have Hodor and Bran.
Awesome.
Now, is this from the
Yep, that's Song of Ice and Fire.
song? Okay,
from,
so
from
that's
Simon.
come out now. I mean, these minis for them.
Oh yeah, these guys have been out for
while?
like 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they were in the Stark Heroes 2 box or something like that.
Yeah, of course.
So it's a
that
supplement
makes
box.
sense.
Yeah. But yeah, they're looking
look really
looking very
good.
cool. I think yeah, you just got that like such a great solidity to Hodor there.
And I like that he's gone for Hodor. Like in the TV series, Hodor had like gray hair, and,
Right.
like was white gray hair,
Yep.
and it's kind of fun that he's gone for sort of,
The darker
more,
hair, yeah.
more of a fantasy Hodor.
Like the standard medieval fantasy kind of look.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Probably something that George R. R. Martin was thinking at the time because he's a huge fan of that
Yeah.
feel.
World.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, definitely looks great. Looking really nice. I like the little auburn tinge to Bran's hair as well.
I was thinking that.
Looking at the
I wonder what their like ability or trait is when you like use them.
ooh, I can't
I
remember
would be
exactly.
interested to know that. It's probably has to do something with his sight, Bran's sight.
Yeah.
Right? Like
I'm
feel like
not sure. It
would-
might be a little bit too early for that.
Oh, in the series.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He's definitely not the three-eyed raven at this point. But,
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
but it's I think it's a little bit. There might be something to do with it, but I
Gotcha.
can't remember exactly what it is. But he also comes with Summer,
oh,
his
okay.
wolf, the dire wolf. So you can have that when you deploy Bran and Hodor. You also have Summer, who's on a separate base and moves around. But anyway, Rob's done a great job there. It's looking very cool.
Loving it.
Nice one.
Next up, we have Seth Cross with a work in progress, Lady Valerius, a
By
scale of 75.
Okay.
I was like, wow, this is timely for Halloween. I don't know, she looks very like Halloween-y to
Yep.
me.
It's one of those things where
I don't think she is, but
yeah, she's got that very pale skin going on,
yeah.
and normally I'd say I'm not sure whether maybe that's just painted white and it's the way the photo is reading, but with the white eyes there,
Right.
you
Right.
definitely see there's a touch of color in there. It does have a very sort of vampiric kind of feel, as you say, perfect for Halloween.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how she turns out. She looks really cool.
Yep. So many options with the rest of her clothing there.
Yes.
You could go with like just a lovely monocolor,
Right.
monochromal ball gown.
Right. That's kind of
Or
what
you
I was
could,
thinking, yeah.
Yeah. Or I think you could start to mix it up a little bit, and maybe the top is a little bit more like a bolero jacket, and then you've
Yeah.
got the bustier, and then you've got the
Yeah.
corset underneath, and there are loads of options.
And
there.
there's definitely enough flat surface that you could play around with some patterns pretty easily, I think.
Yeah.
Without like kicking yourself.
Sure. Yeah. Yep.
Which could also be really fun.
Put some lovely brocade work in there. Actually, speaking of patterns and like
Mm-hmm.
little designs and that kind of thing, my buddy Clay Williams
Okay, yeah.
from M3 Painting. I can't remember what his TikTok is, but he just started recently on working on
Oh,
doing,
awesome.
doing little videos on TikTok.
Yeah.
And I saw one that was on Facebook because I don't use the TikToks. I'm not my daughter.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just like a quick video of him doing some essentially like engraving work on the side plate of a rifle,
Oh, wow.
like a Winchester rifle kind of
Yeah.
thing. But it was a larger scale model, but still the side plate was like that. So if you have a look at that, that'll give you some ideas on how Seth could possibly go with the brocade work or
Oh,
that kind of
okay.
thing on this model.
Yeah,
It should be
super
very
cool.
cool. Lady Valerius. But yeah, it
Very
looks awesome,
nice.
Seth. Nice work.
Excited to see how she turns out.
Indeed.
And then lastly, we have Sean Gleason with a work in progress. Oh,
Go Riders.
Go Riders.
Fantastic from The Hobbit. So unfortunately, we're not seeing it on the thing. It's on the screen there. We haven't got the larger version on
Let's
our
see if I
screen here.
can click it up. Here we go.
Perfect timing
There
for
we
it.
go. A sneeze and a cough.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. So yeah, here we go. I was able to get them.
Excellent. Very cool. Yep. I can see them now. Looking great. Yes. I'm loving the the red and the gold there for the armor on the back of the necks of the goats there. It's looking very cool. It's got a very it's got a bit of like a fire kind of feel.
Yeah.
I think these guys are definitely quite hot. I know I've painted some of these, but I can't remember what
Is it The Hobbit the game?
No, from... Oh, yes. Yeah. So,
Okay.
the Middle-earth strategy battle game.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So, yeah, these were introduced to the movie.
Yes.
I don't think they were in the original Battle of Five Armies.
No.
But, yeah. So...
No, I love them. They're really great. Yeah, I'd be interested to know, like, exactly why you chose the orange and the red. Like, I could easily see that be, like, a house thing. Like,
right,
kind of
okay.
had, like, a family name or something, or a clan, really. 'Cause
Clan
it's
thing,
not
yep,
houses.
for dwarves.
But, like, a clan of the dwarves or something.
I think that's, that... The stuff that's looking orange there is, like, the gold trim around the edge of the armor.
Oh,
The armor
okay.
plates. So...
Oh, yeah, you're right. It is just gold trim. My brain is kind of... from far away, it's reading as orange.
Yeah. But, no, I think it's looking really good. And I'm loving the work on the horns as well there, Sean.
Oh, yeah, they look really good.
I mean, look excellent. But yeah, these models are a lot of fun. They're not particularly fun to put together
Okay.
because the horns are separate.
Oh, wow.
And not like the two horns are one piece. It's like
They're separate pieces.
there's like two pieces, and then there's the bit. And so if you drop them
You're like,
on your floor, it's like, oh my god. If I dropped them on my floor, which I did, you spend like half an hour looking for them. Like, get out, like lift my chair, carry my chair away, and then come back to the floor and look for them.
day.
But yeah, I'm sure you had a lot of fun working on these, Sean.
Yeah, these look awesome.
Very cool.
And that is it.
Thank you very much, everybody,
Yes, thank you.
for submitting it. Of course, one of the problems with having the minis on the big screen is we didn't get to see the chat during this time.
That's true.
So we'll have to come
Yeah,
back and
we
read
didn't-
through everybody's comments
Sorry
very
if you
quickly.
were chatting with us.
Okay.
Yep.
So scroll up. Can you
Let
scroll
me
back?
Scroll up.
Yep.
Do-do-do. Oh, wow, yeah. Okay, I like Sting. Nice.
Sting in the first
Looks
one?
like the Black Rose. First two books are boring.
Yep.
Thanks. You're welcome, Ashlyn. Awesome red color. Scythe was the third game I painted. Gotcha.
Cool. Excellent. Digging that tiger. Gorka super
Gorka's
clean.
super clean, true.
Oh, like my old Star Wars toys. Exactly, yeah. A lot of my old Star Wars toys have got that
with
yellowing.
that yellowing,
Yeah.
yeah. Where you're like, ugh.
Yep. Shadowhawks. Shadowhawks is Dave's chapter.
Gotcha, okay.
My bad.
Cloud definitely adds to the look, yes.
Yep. Jason said he hasn't sealed it in that picture, planning to hit it with a matte finish on the whole thing, and then using diluted liquid Mod Podge to go over the cloud. That's a good
Smart.
idea. I think that'll work. Jason said it was first homemade flowers on the base.
That was
Great.
for the elf. That was
Yep.
the elfin warrior, which I did almost comment on that. They were very
On the
cool.
flowers.
Mhm.
Yep. JT said single layer and a wash for the gold. So
Nice.
gold and then a single layer.
Wow.
Then a wash over it. Very cool. Commando Droids from Clone Wars. That's where those were from. No wonder. See, I haven't seen Clone Wars.
Neither
But we
have I.
know that. We know that.
Oh, the hair color won't be changing all that much. Oh, that's
Cool.
good. I did really like it.
Yep, definitely looking good. Mike was saying there are options, both options for the head. Dilemma Minch Kickstarter, 75 mil. So that's the
That was the beautiful girl with the
with the
flowing-
flag and the blue and the
flag.
purple. Yep,
Yeah.
exactly. So that's
it
where
was
that was from.
Limbo Miniatures
Limbo
on
Miniatures
Kickstarter.
Kickstarter.
Thank you, Mike. I didn't even realize you were in
And-
the chat. Thanks for
And
joining.
we were good that we picked the right. Well, that it was the larger scale,
Yes,
75 mil.
we knew.
Okay, so still waiting on the last books for GOT, aren't we all?
Ha ha ha! Keep waiting, bruh.
Yeah.
They're never gonna come. I'm sorry. They're never gonna come. Man's made his money.
Right.
He ain't gonna finish that story.
So yeah, the minis that Sean had painted, the Goat Riders,
Okay.
made by Forge World. So Forge World is the resin arm of Games Workshop. And they have a red armor color scheme. Oh, sorry, you looked up the Iron Hills colors. And they have a red armor color scheme. Cool.
Gotcha. Okay.
Nice one. Fantastic work, everybody. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you, and thank you for chatting with us in the chat, even though this week we weren't able to actually see the chat while you were talking to us.
It's because normally we have the big screen, big
Yeah.
monitor at the top there. But when Leona's out here, all of her
My behind-the-scenes work,
Behind-the-scenes magic.
takes precedent,
and pushes the
pushes us out of the way.
yeah.
But if you're interested in having us look at your minis, make sure you join our Facebook group.
You know what I should do?
What?
Because we keep talking, like we mention it, like here's what we get to see.
Oh yeah, you can just take a picture. Yeah, we have a Facebook group. It's actually where a lot of people here go and chat, and a lot of you know about it. But like if you have friends who are interested in painting or anything, have them join. We love having new people, and we
Yep.
had quite a few new members join within the past like week or two.
Yep.
And someone commented that like they were just new to painting, which is super fun. So
Picked out their
they were
first mini
kind of-
a month ago.
yeah, I thought that was super fun. I was like, oh, that's great. At this point, I've been past that. I've painted my first mini and it's not
Yep.
me anymore. I'm like, welcome.
Excellent.
So it's been really fun seeing what people have been continuing to work on. Someone just posted up like a monster,
Right.
an ogre that they had painted,
Okay.
which I thought was perfect for Halloween.
Yeah.
Halloween time, of course. I
Yeah.
want to say that. Because it's always a perfect time to have an ogre. And I'm thinking with the new month coming up that I
Right.
won't do like a Halloween theme for the banner, but I'm thinking maybe orange. Like, as long as your mini has orange in it, you can
Okay.
post. Because I feel like
That's
then
gonna be
that will
interesting.
kind of
Yep.
allow people, like, it doesn't have to be Halloween themed.
Right.
Because not everybody paints Halloween.
It's a little bit more fall themed.
Right. It's more fall themed, but and then other people, because I kind of did autumn theme this past time, and people gave me some
Okay.
more Halloween themed stuff. So I thought it would be kind of fun to have minis that just have like some orange in them.
Okay.
Probability is higher, I think, of people having orange in their mini than a Halloween mini.
Sure. I don't know.
Oh, I painted this face this like horrible yellow color.
Oh, okay.
Because I thought that would look good, and
It's not working.
I don't know if it's working very well.
Oh, you have it. Is it a so it's not a helmeted head.
It's not a helmeted head, no.
Okay.
He has his head.
Well, if you
his
get
face.
so once you like let that dry.
Okay. I
and
think maybe
then-
I put a wash over it.
Yeah.
I'll wash it.
Yep. With the contrast paints that you've got there,
Yeah.
if you just reach forward, there's a brown one.
Oh,
Nope.
this
Yep.
one right here.
So if you get that, give it make sure the lid's completely closed, give it a good shake, and then
Okay.
thin that down a little bit.
Okay, okay.
That'll give you a good thing over there.
Little guy right there. My little guy. Gotta run. Watch some Thursday night football. Bye, JT.
Oh,
Thanks
bye,
for
JT.
joining. Yeah,
Excellent.
next week you gotta tell us who wins.
Yep.
I was honestly a little interested because like last week we went off on about like who was even playing.
Yep.
3 parts water, 1 part charred brown, and you have a nice brown wash. Good to know.
Yep. That's pretty good.
Just saw on Twitter that Gretchen is making a Spidey cosplay. Does she know it won't get any superpowers? Yes. Gretchen hopefully will be back next week. And yes, wish her to feel better.
Yeah. Indeed.
Okay, I won't paint this wash on right away because I have done that before. And then guess what? Mixes into a new
Yeah.
lovely color.
You gotta let it dry.
I hate letting things dry.
Hate watching paint dry.
I hate it. I don't know what else to paint on my mini.
That's why the brushes are much smaller than the minis, so that you can't possibly paint all of it at once.
I think what I'm gonna do is try and have some cool patterns
Okay.
on his whatever you call this, pauldron, right?
Yep. Yep. Pauldron is good.
I remembered a thing. Pauldron.
Pauldron. There we go. So one of the things that we were talking about beforehand, and we were a little bit, we weren't sure. We thought, well, maybe we'll ask the chat, see if they have any other examples.
Oh yeah, this was before the show.
Yeah, before the show. So we were talking about TV shows where they have kept the same character but changed the actor that's playing that character, and not sort of stopped to explain why they've done so or why they've done so. I'm sure there have been one or two sort of comedy shows where they've done it, but well, I know that there's certainly in Beer Fest they did a variation on it, which was one of the characters died,
Okay.
and the actor who played that character came back and played his brother.
Okay.
And they were like, "Well, we kind of think so. So can we just call you what we used to call the other guy?
Oh my.
What we used to call your brother?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, okay." But yeah, but yeah. So talking about examples we talked about were Dario Naharis in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
So it was
Never forget.
Daenerys Targaryen's love interest. So first introduced. So I think that actor was in like maybe 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Three episodes?
I think that was season 2 as well. And then
Yep.
he came back in season 3. And he was like, oh.
He looked completely different.
I just made a big spill.
That's amazing.
I just made a really big spill.
Yeah. Do you need some paper towel? Or are you good?
I do.
Or would you leave all the paper towel
I
over?
have paper towel off camera,
Right there.
so I'll
Okay.
go get that.
You grab that. You are now inducted into the grand order of miniature painters. You're not a miniature painter until you spill.
I do
A
feel
wash
a
or-
little bit more like I've wizened to my
Yeah.
I'm no longer youth.
I was gonna say, when you lift up the pot, lift it up carefully by the top, so
Okay.
that you can. It's kind of like one of those, like when you have a milk
Yes.
bottle. You get the paint will go underneath it. So Dario Naharis,
Sorry.
Brady Bunch changed the dad.
Gotham changed Poison Ivy.
We did.
Bewitched. Hey. That's
Bewitched,
what you
yeah,
said.
yeah. I was saying Bewitched as well. Dick Sargent and Dick York.
Vivian Banks from Fresh Prince. 2 actors played her.
Okay,
Nice.
I did not know that. Becky from Roseanne.
From Roseanne?
Roseanne was played by 2
Oh.
different. I think it was played by 2 different actresses. And Laurie from that 70s show. There's another character that was played by 2 different actors. HBO Spartacus. They changed the actor playing the main character.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. The main character.
Yep.
Couldn't keep him around.
Well, they did for Death Race, the remakes of, or the reboot of the Death Race franchise.
Okay.
They switched the actor playing Frankenstein. Look at that, coming full circle. Or not full circle, just like a little U-turn. But yeah, like Jason Statham was the actor in the first one, but then when they went and made all the B sequels kind of thing, it was a different actor. Oh, the Carpio has to go. See ya.
Thanks for joining.
Yep.
Hope to see you next week.
Indeed. But what else is there? Who else has done it?
This is like pretty new, but there's this series on Netflix called The Worst Witch.
Okay.
It's like for little girls.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
It's actually very cute.
It
But the
is.
main character, they have
Yep.
4 seasons, and for 3 seasons it's the same main girl, and then the last season they just change her.
Oh,
And
wow.
In the
Like the same character, but
same character, but
Different
they have
actress.
a different actress. And
Wow.
in the story, they make it so that she's magically she changes
Her appearance, right, okay.
So like
Yep.
they make it work for the plot, but still I was like, they couldn't get this girl
I think her
for
name.
one last season.
I think her name is. I think it's Bella Ramsey.
I was pretty upset because I think, was she like in a horror movie or something?
No, she was in Game of Thrones.
She was?
She was. Yeah, she was. She was
What?
Lady Mormont. She was. Yeah, she was in Game of Thrones. So she Rob Stark had to go to her and ask for her to supply some bannermen.
Oh
And
yeah,
she
'cause
gave-
she's a little girl.
Yeah, she's the girl. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I never
Same
put
actress.
2 and 2 together.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Crazy.
That is crazy.
But yes, my daughters have watched that show, so I.
It's a very cute
seen
show.
the show.
Like, if anyone has daughters, like, or sons who need like some witch
Yep.
world activity, it's adorable.
Some pseudo Hogwarts kind of stuff.
Yeah, it was
Yep.
really cute, but it did make me pretty upset that like they changed the actress. I was like, what the heck?
Maybe she
How
had
did
to
they
like.
do that?
I'd love to come and film the 4th season, but I'm going to be
In Game of Thrones.
I'm going to be being killed by an undead giant.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. But yeah, definitely good. Oh, Ed Norton is the Hulk. Yeah, and well, they had a run, didn't they? There was Ed Norton. No,
Yeah.
who was in? Was it? What's his name? Eric Bana. Was it Eric Bana, then Edward Norton, then Mark Ruffalo,
I
or
don't
was it
know
Edward Norton?
the answer to that question.
Eric
Sorry.
Bana, Mark Ruffalo. Not sure. But yeah, Rhodian Iron Man. But they're kind of series-ish. Disney's Bolt changed the animated character at the end. My goodness. Yep, there we go. Ashlyn said the Marvel movies played by Terrence Howard and then Don Cheadle. Yeah, so Terrence Howard was in Iron Man. Was Don Cheadle Rhodey after that? I don't know. What's it? His superhero name is it War Machine? Is that War Machine? I don't know. Feel terrible, but yeah, know exactly who you're talking about.
The wrong person. I don't know.
I was talking to the chat.
Oh, the chat. Yes, chat. Let us know because I don't know the answer to that question.
Cool. So we haven't talked much about colors tonight, but so even though I'm painting up this ultramarine, standard ultramarine is fairly bright. It's an ultramarine blue.
Okay.
But I like my ultramarines a little bit darker. So I always start with a darker blue. And this time I started with night blue and then mixed in a little bit of imperial blue from Vallejo. There we go. So that was kind of the base. And then when I started to add some highlights to the shoulders and that kind of thing, I just started to mix in some ultramarines blue. And then my final edge highlighting is sort of straight ultramarines blue with a little bit of white mixed in. So, and then for that white veteran's helmet, I've used light gray as the base color, and then highlighted it with dead white. Now I'm about to get a little bit of black to line out some of these details. So I'm going to do the eyes there, the little focusing ring on his bionic eye. Well, it's a helmet. I guess it's just a sensor or something like that on the outside of the helmet there. And then paint these little bits. I don't know what they are, what they do, but they look good when they're painted silver. Put those around there.
I'm painting up some bronze flesh tone
Okay.
on this guy because I wanted it to kind of look like stripes, hazard stripes.
All right, on the right.
On the mini.
You go for that on the shoulders. Nice.
Yeah, and then also on the back, and then I kind of messed that up a little bit, so I'm going to have to go back in with my green color, which is just dark green.
Okay.
Vallejo,
Yeah. Oh, this one.
with black. Maybe.
It's this one. Yep. Should I throw it back over after
yeah,
having?
it's all dried. It's all dried up.
Here we go.
Oop.
It's the air
Worst
conditioning.
offend of changing character actor has to be Batman.
Oh, there we go. Yes, it was War Machine.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I think it's funny. I always
Yeah, I guess I just didn't mix it up well enough.
have a friend of mine, Brian Steele, who was a big DC fan, and I always give him grief about like you'll get like 3 movies into a Batman series, and then they'll stop, and then they'll start again and do the origin story again,
Again, I know.
and then the origin story again, and then the origin story again. It's like surely he's more like he's a better character than just his origin story.
Nope, apparently not.
But then the same thing happens in Marvel with Spider-Man.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that does kind of get old.
Yep.
Like, I know some people, like, Spider-Man is, like, a lot of people's favorite, apparently. I never realized this because I always thought Spider-Man was kind of lame. I really liked the animated Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse movie.
All right. Yep.
But regardless of that, Spider-Man, like, being redone, like, with what's-his-face that just came out, the kid, his name is Tom, I think.
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland. And
Yep.
people were like, oh my gosh, I love the Tom Holland Spider-Man. I'm like, didn't we have Spider-Man like 4 times before this?
No, not 4 times. We had Andrew Garfield before
Yeah.
that, and before that was Tobey Maguire.
And see, I grew up with the Tobey Maguire one. And so because of that, Spider-Man was a little
Sweet
ruined
summer
for
child.
me.
Anyway, keep going.
I know. I'm such a child. But regardless of that, Spider-Man's a little ruined for me because when I think Spider-Man, I think Tobey Maguire.
Right. Don't,
And
don't tell
my-
me you think like jazz singing, dancing Tobey Maguire from Spider-Man 3, right? You're not thinking that. Oh.
See, that's the thing. I'm like, Spider-Man has been a little ruined for me in terms of live action because I just think about those versions. And my brother was so funny because he was like, oh man, I love Spider-Man. Like, he's so strong and, you know, powerful. And I'm like, all I think of is Tobey Maguire in Spider-Man 3,
Right.
which was the weirdest movie
Yeah.
ever.
Indeed. They really took that one over the top, for sure.
They really did. Oh, Ashton's telling us that the kids in the National Lampoon's Vacation movies apparently changed.
Oh, okay.
That's so funny. They're like, oh, we'll get new kids actors. We need them. I mean, to be fair, they probably were older, so they needed me.
Yeah. Part of me is thinking, like, what else were they doing? What did Rusty do, apart from being Rusty? Now I'm going to be told he invented, like, penicillin or something. But,
Sure. No, that was James.
and that's, like, a completely valid reason for not continuing in a National Lampoon series.
How dare.
But,
There we go. Yeah, it's just funny how series will do that. No explanation. I don't mind if the character, if they have, all I need is one line to be like, you sure look different, and then just like move on. But like,
Right.
I love that because then like, that means that the writers are acknowledging that they weren't able to hire the same actor. And maybe I feel a little bit that way about some character deaths where it's just because the actor didn't want to be there anymore. I'm like, you could have just had them never come back and then just have a line that's like, oh yeah, they left forever.
Right.
And we all would know.
Yeah.
Out of context. We are supposed to get a movie with Toby, Andrew, and Tom at the same time? What? No way. I don't believe this.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
I mean, I still think Toby's best Spider-Man, though.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it was like the beginning of the superhero movies, so they were still kind of like, I mean, because that's even like, who was in the Batman movies from the 90s?
Who wasn't in the Batman movies from the 90s?
That's fair.
It's Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton, thank
Michael
you.
Keaton, Val Kilmer,
Yes.
George Clooney.
Yes. Those are great. And I love them. But also, you're kind of like, if you watch them now and then like watch Guardians of the Galaxy, you're kind of like, what?
Yeah.
Or like any superhero movie, you're like, wow,
Yeah, there was a change.
these are interesting.
Yeah.
Spider-Man No Way Home. Are they really in that one? I guess they did it just for kicks.
Yeah. But as Jason says, yeah, Tom is the Spider-Man in the MCU.
Yeah.
But yep.
It's true. Yeah. Which was very special. Good job.
Yep.
Marketing. Licensing. It's weird how they like sold all of them, but then they were like, let's just keep Spider-Man. And you're like,
Yep.
what is that whack? Ashlyn says they couldn't get the two original kids back for the first sequel, but then they just made a gag for all the subsequent movies that they even change ages. Logic means nothing. That's funny. I
Yeah.
like that.
Yep.
That's the kind of like directing that I'm about.
That you're here for.
Yeah. Where they're just like, whatever, our movies are crazy. Let's just make them different.
Yep. That's good.
Oh my goodness. It's 9:00.
No way! That's crazy.
I was about to paint for like another 10, 15 minutes.
Nope. I'm just going to paint it a little bit of... I got some... we painted gunmetal out.
Okay.
And we just painted some silver bits. So I think the silver works really nicely against the blue. And the white of the helmet. But now that our time is up...
Yes.
Oh.
Did you want to see mine real quick?
Yeah.
This is the guy that I painted. I didn't
Oh.
actually end up doing a dark wash on his face, so it's still very overexposed. But the stripes are as such. They don't look as good on camera as I think they look in real life. But I thought it would be fun to kind of give that as a contrasting color since it's so bright. But it's not yellow, it's actually orange. Well,
Yeah.
it's
a
bronze
bronze
flesh
flesh.
tone.
Yeah.
So
That's a great,
that would be
that's a great
good-
base for yellow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that would be a great color to like have in your, like if I made an army
In your scheme.
in my
Yeah,
scheme, I think that would be a kind of a fun
definitely.
thing to have. So,
Oh.
and then we can look at yours.
I just love the way that music, we can look at, yours just rolled across the... Bloom.
Yeah,
Like,
and
let's
then
do this.
it exited for me.
Yep.
Exit stage left.
So yeah, just painted up an ultramarine. One of the funny things with Space Marines is the way that Games Workshop paints them is that you have the consistent base color over everything. The shading is fairly consistent, and the highlighting
Okay.
is very consistent. So you have a way to paint Space Marines that doesn't really match like where light would actually fall on them.
Oh, okay.
So
Yep.
that's the standard approach for them. So you'll see
Yeah.
like edge highlighting, and the mini painted by the studio would have edge highlighting on the top of the greave underneath the knee plate,
Right.
knee pad there,
That's so funny.
even though the light would
In
never
reality.
reflect off it. Yeah. So it's kind of, it's a tough thing. If you've painted a lot of Space Marines, it's a tough thing to break out of.
Yeah.
So I was trying. I don't think I was completely successful, but I was working on it.
You were trying to do more realistic.
Yeah, I think I'd have to go back and put a lot of extra shadow in and bring the highlights up
Gotcha.
quite a lot.
Okay.
But I'm fairly happy with how that shoulder pad's looking.
Yeah, he looks really great.
Yep.
I'm liking it.
And then I could go along and put some
of those decals.
some decals. Oh,
Overexposed.
yeah.
There you go.
There we go.
Little bitty. You can see the black ones. But
Yep. But yeah, I'm going to put the ultramarine symbol on there, the inverted omega.
nice.
But yeah, that'd be quite cool.
So yeah, thank you guys for joining us for a more relaxed painting happy little minis. Maybe it wasn't
Chill.
relaxed for me. I'm like trying to do these stripes. Josh Potter asks, is this live? Yes, we're still live, but we're wrapping up our show.
Sorry, Josh.
We were just kind of enjoying painting,
miss
so
you.
that's why we're going over a few more minutes. But we'll be back next week with some fun and exciting new things to paint. Hopefully, I sent in
Is that in order?
in an order, so hopefully we'll get some of the things that I ordered, which would be really fun to paint. And yeah, make sure that you follow us on our social media, that you follow us on Game Trade Media, and also Painting Happy Little Minis. If you want us to see your mini, make sure you're checking every Wednesday in the Facebook group, because that's where I post the thread so that you can add your miniature.
You said thread there, not threat, right?
Thread.
So I
Yeah.
post the threat. Show me your minis or I'll kick you out. No.
But yeah, so thank you to everyone who's been chatting with us and just talking with us in the chat, and we will see you all next Thursday.
Bye.
Bye. Oops. Wait a second. Wait for it. We're still live.